Good, happy Tuesday evening, March 1st, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started right now. First up, Candlelight Vigil in support of Ukraine planned at Manchester City Hall. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
This is my time.
My time. My time.
Everyone has one, but this one is mine. My time.
That vigil is set to start at 6:30, so in just about half an hour. And if you take a look behind me, you can see people are already starting to set up. You can see a truck here saying, "Pray for Ukraine." It has the flag of Ukraine. It has the U.S. flag. Event organizer Daniel Mowry expects a couple hundred people to come today, including some people from Ukraine currently watching in horror as their families remain in the war-torn country. Even though we're in another continent, Mowry wants the community to know they can still show their support to the Ukrainian people.
I want them to feel blessed. I want them to be, to feel they're doing something. They can't be there over in Ukraine, but we can be here praying for, asking God for help.
And behind me here, you can see the lights at the top of City Hall shining yellow and blue, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. Live in Manchester, Grace Finerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Russia invasion of Ukraine pushes gas, heating oil costs higher in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
When you're launching a home improvement project, quality lumber from our drive-through lumber yards makes all the difference. At Beltate's Building Supply, you'll find a wide selection of the lumber and building materials you need for any project.
Visit us at beltates.com or any of our 9 locations.
The price of gasoline and home heating oil continue to rise. Supply issues and inflation now compounded by the uncertainty caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Oil and gas prices are kind of like U.S. stocks. That we don't like volatility.
The price of crude oil is the indicator, now at $105 a barrel, up 8% just since yesterday, and the highest price since 2014.
All of the products that are derived from a barrel of oil are going to move higher. So the gasoline, that'll be fuel oil, that'll be, aviation fuel.
According to AAA of Northern New England, the average price of gasoline in New Hampshire is $3.55 a gallon. That's a 25-cent jump from a month ago and nearly $1 more than last year, and it's expected to rise.
The top forecasters out there are saying we could see gas prices increase between 25 and 55 cents in the month of March.
Home heating oil averaging $3.93 a gallon a week ago, although experts say a winter less harsh than projected has helped.
They're still higher than they were last winter by a significant margin, but it wasn't as bad as some of the projections had originally assumed, which is good.
We saw the highest gas prices in state history back in 2008 when they topped $4 a gallon. If the experts are right, we could reach that mark this month. Let's hope they're not. We're live in Portsmouth. Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Hospital officials in New Hampshire hopeful as COVID-19 hospitalizations fall. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
So where we are today is a far cry from where we were over the holiday season, and it is a relief.
Catholic Medical Center is still hovering around a dozen patients hospitalized with COVID-19, but that is a significant decrease from about 50 at the height of the winter surge.
We'd like it to be lower, but one of the most important things is that we haven't had a lot of COVID patients in our ICU for a while, and we don't have any at the moment.
There are 73 positive COVID-19 patients hospitalized statewide. That's actually right about where we were last year at this time. The yellow line in this graph represents the winter surge of 2020, with a high of 335 hospitalizations. The red line represents the most recent surge, with a high of 479 active COVID patients. Concord Hospital says they saw a peak of 65 confirmed cases in their beds in early January. That number down to 5 today, and it was at 0 last week.
It certainly allowed us to focus on the backlog of non-COVID related care. So we've been increasing our elective surgical cases that require admission.
Wentworth Douglas also expanding its care with 0 COVID patients in its ICU for the first time in months.
Our staff is still incredibly tired. They will need months to recover from this. But there is a sense of hope.
I don't know what the summer and the fall is going to bring. I'm hoping it's not like it was this winter, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Now, officials do say it is important to remember that regardless of any state or local COVID restrictions that are lifted, healthcare facilities are a different setting, and masks are still required. Live in Manchester tonight, Jason King, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Ten more COVID-19 deaths announced as hospitalizations fall in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
This is my time.
My time. My time.
Everyone has one, but this one is mine.
The pandemic now, there are 10 new COVID-related deaths to report in New Hampshire tonight, and 5 of those were just confirmed, 4 from January and 1 from last September. Active cases are falling again to just under 1,400. There are 252 new cases to report.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Shrinkflation. Consumer packaging gets smaller, but prices stay the same. Let's take a listen to that video.
Rising costs are evident everywhere.
With inflation at a 40-year high, Americans are feeling the pinch of higher prices.
But some price hikes can be harder to spot, disguised from consumers by creative packaging.
Have you ever heard the term shrinkflation?
No.
Everyday products where the price stays the same, but the package gets smaller.
Shrinkflation has been going on for decades.
Consumer advocate Edgar Dworsky says shrinkflation, or what used to be known as product downsizing, is more common during times of inflation.
It really does come in waves, and unfortunately, we're in the middle of a big wave right now.
And prices going up, and I think companies want to do the most to make sure it looks like they're not the ones that are raising their prices.
Dworsky highlights examples of manufacturers putting less product in a package.
We always used to buy half a gallon of orange juice. Then it went down to 59 ounces. Then it went down to 52 ounces.
Fewer sheets in a roll of paper towels, or maybe an ounce less cereal in a box.
That little 1 ounce multiplied by tens of millions is big bucks in their pocket and out of your pocket.
With some manufacturers, it's in the shape of the package, like this jar of peanut butter.
You look at the bottom, there's now an indent on the bottom of the Skippy jar. That's, in essence, dead space. Gatorade comes in 32-ounce bottles. They're now 28 ounces. Look for the one that kind of has a waistline on it. That's the one that's 4 ounces shorter.
It's rare, but sometimes you can even find examples of downsizing side by side on a store shelf, as we did with this Crest toothpaste. The older version had 4.1 ounces in the tube. Now you get 3.8. Same price, but 7% less toothpaste. Crest's parent company, Procter & Gamble, tells 12 News that it takes a holistic view of pricing by product category, adding, "Our focus is on delivering superior products with the best performance, ultimately delivering value to our consumers." The best advice for shoppers is to check the price per unit or per ounce, often posted in smaller print on the store shelf.
But the unit price may be something else that's hard to find, because unlike some other states, Wisconsin law doesn't require stores to post a unit price.
Though not mandatory, many stores do post unit pricing to make comparison shopping easier. But Dworsky says consumers who don't routinely check that may not be aware when a product has been downsized.
Manufacturers are counting on consumers not noticing.
Is this an attempt to deceive consumers?
Well, it certainly is a bit of package trickery, to say the least. Does it cross the line to be illegal? No.
Just a cleverly disguised hit to your household budget. Same price, but you're getting less for your money.
It's not great.
In Milwaukee, I'm Kent Wainscott, WISN 12 News.
19 states do require some form of unit pricing. 12 News is asking members of the Assembly Committee on Consumer Protection whether they would consider that requirement in Wisconsin.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night. Goodbye.